Sisson.
Here.
McDermott.
Here.
Gibbon.
Here.
Harrington.
Here.
Duke. Johnson.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Thank you. If we can all stand, please, for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 1, the consent agenda. Approve this agenda, pay the claims as submitted. Approve the treasurer's report for May 2022. Approve the minutes of the June 7th, 2022 regular council meeting.
So moved.
Mike Sisson, Trent Fuker,
McDermott.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Harrington.
Yes.
Duker.
Yes.
Johnson. Smith.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
thank you. It is now time for the public forum. Anybody who wants to approach the public forum, please approach the council, state your name.
My name is Jess Lammers. Good evening.
Good evening, Jess.
Mr. McIntyre, congratulations on being chief. Did anything change about you between the dates of May 17th and June 7th?
Well, I continued working.
Nice. Nice answer. So this is my question today. Did Ms. Nelson want to give her general precursor? No one's required to answer any questions, blah, blah, blah. Councilman's Mike Sisson and Corey Weiss, you changed your votes. On May 17th, you voted no to make the then Sergeant McIntyre chief, but on June 7th, you voted yes. Why'd you change your mind? Mr. Weiss and Mr. Sisson, not you, Doug.
That's their choice. That's their
I
choice,
asked
Mr.
them
Lane.
to answer, not you. If
That's
they'd like
correct.
advice, there's an attorney in the room for them.
We have 8 council members here.
But they're the ones that changed their mind, and I'm asking why as a constituent of the city.
Have you ever changed your mind, Mr. Lammers?
Oh, a fucking lot. But I
We
also
learn
have a
sometimes.
reason. Also have a reason if I change my mind. So what's your reason for changing your mind?
You have anything else, Mr.
You
Lammers?
can decline to comment politely. I mean, that's a probative answer. I refuse to answer.
Do you have anything else?
I do actually. I want
Okay.
to talk about the Franks property over on, is it East 8th? Because they were talking about it at the county board meeting this morning. So it would appear that the president of the county board, Teresa Pulse, wants to do something about lowering taxes. And it's all because of the Franks property having, I guess, too much junk in the yard, for lack of a more probative term. Now, the Franks property has a bunch of cars and stuff in it, but all the cars are insured and all the cars have license plates. I don't care if they run or not. The issue at bar would be, are they insured, are they plated, and they are. So it would appear to me that the city council and the county board are choosing to pick on the Franks because of socioeconomic status. So the reason this becomes important to me is because 2 council members changed their mind with no apparent reason except some alluded to legal interest. Now, I as a constituent, it appears to me that the city was in a position to make Mr. McIntyre chief or lose his services as you lost Sergeant Jones's services. So at what socioeconomic status is a constituent in the city of Holdrege, in the county of Phelps, above the law? That's for you, Doug. At what socioeconomic point am I or anyone else above the law? As a guy who sits in a felony trial for a violation of 28.31101A, but you don't charge the guy on South Arthur Street with a violation of 28.31101A for threatening to kill somebody in the newspaper, yeah, I personally take offense because I'm not getting equal access to my federal constitutional rights. And it would appear that you're also picking on another family that falls below the poverty level. The Franks, as pointed out by the county board this morning at 9 a.m.
Jess, I'm not sure what the discussion was at county board, but the city at this point has nothing proceeding against the Franks family.
I understand that because Ms. Pulse hasn't brought it to you yet. It hasn't been enough time passed. You all have your meetings on the same day. But these are probative questions. And again, I'm really asking Mike Sisson and Corey Lease because they're the ones that changed their mind. And I would personally, if I worked for the city for 22 years, you signed on in 2000, right,
Yep.
Chief? If I worked for the city for 22 years and I was not your last choice, but your only choice, and then you still didn't want to elect me, I'd feel really insulted after 22 years of service. I don't know how Chief McIntyre feels. I'm just telling you how I'd feel.
Thank you, Mr.
Well, I've
Lambert.
one last thing. You're buying a new bucket truck for the electrical
You've used
department.
up your time here, Mr. Lammers. If you would like to run for the city council,
No, thank you, but I haven't used up my time and you don't have a stopwatch. So how do you know I've used up my time? Ooh, what's it at? Is it at 3 minutes?
6:06.
6:06?
Yes.
Did you subtract your dialogue from my time?
Yep.
Really? Okay, well,
I
fair
have a
enough.
stopwatch on mine.
You can get your new electrical bucket truck sooner if you move it through your committees and have the money available. Choose the company you want to buy the electrical bucket truck from, wire them the money, then call the salesman and say, hey, you got my money, send me a truck or give me my money back. I guarantee you get a truck before 2024 or whatever. Grant Cardone infamously did this with a plane. Have a good day.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Lammers. Anybody else would like to speak before the council?
Hi, my name's Kathy Bodenheimer, and I don't know if you would consider this a question, a concern, or a complaint. That's up to you guys. But to me, it's a real concern. Going back to our public library, I know you guys pay a portion of the maintenance, upkeep, whatever you want to call it. The elevator's been out of order for approximately 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
The library unfortunately could not have their book sale that they normally do during Swedish Days.
Correct.
And I didn't know how many on the board were aware of it. I've really been concerned about the elevator because I was taking Mike's, I can't think of his last name, the director's writing class, and almost got stuck in the basement twice when he taught that. So
Kathy, I would just happen to be at that library board meeting here 2 weeks ago. They're waiting for a part,
okay,
and it was going to be, I forget, but they express ordered the part from China.
oh my,
That
that answers a lot right there.
And that one part was going to cost $5,000 to get it expedited from China
My
to.
gosh.
It's ordered. It's on its way.
Just
It's not on a
whatever
slow
gets
boat
there.
from China. So
Thank you very much.
yeah. So they're trying to get
Yeah.
that fixed. So Kathy.
No, I was just in there again today and saw it wasn't repaired yet.
I
so.
could answer that question.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kathy.
Kathy, are you still able to attend that writing club? Is he
Oh,
still-
no.
So he's still
It's,
holding
no,
it?
it's done at the
Oh,
moment.
it's done right now,
It's
okay.
done right now, but like,
I just wonder if he was
Um,
gonna move it to a more accessible area.
I have no idea. I'm sure he would if I was gonna take it again. I do know that Sierra, who is the new librarian for, her summer reading program, has moved her activities upstairs, which we went to one, and it was an interesting activity and everything, but it made it difficult for anybody else to use that section of the library if they were looking for a quiet place. Because we were there on the main floor, talking and making fossils and having a good time. She's done an excellent job.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to approach the city council with items that's not on the agenda? Now is the time and the place. If not, I will close the public forum. Item 3, consider the final reading of ordinance 2457, amending Chapter 1, Article 6, Section 1-611 and 1-612 of the Holdrege Municipal Code related to the local governing body.
Final reading. Ordinance 2457. An ordinance to amend Chapter 1, Article 6, sections 1-611 and 1-612 of the Holdrege Municipal Code related to the local governing body, to repeal all other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, to provide for the severability of all parts hereof, and to designate the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdrege, Nebraska.
Motion to approve ordinance 2457.
I so move.
I'll second.
Dale Harrington, Larry Gibbons.
Huker.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Weeks.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Dermott.
Yes.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Parrington.
Yes.
You.
Thank you. Item 4, consider the second reading of ordinance 2459, amending Chapter 7, Article 12, Section 11-1207 of the Holdrege Municipal Code related to subdivision regulations, administration, and enforcement. Any questions before we have the second reading?
Second reading, ordinance 2459, an ordinance to amend chapter 11, article 12, section 11-1207 of the Holdrege Municipal Code related to subdivision regulation, administration, and enforcement, to repeal all other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, to provide for the severability of all parts hereof, and to designate the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdrege, Nebraska.
Thank you, Dave. Motion to approve ordinance 2459.
So moved.
McDermott moves.
I'll second.
Nick Smith on the second reading.
Gibbon.
Yes.
Parrington.
Yes.
Huker.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Weeks.
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
You want to suspend the rules?
I don't think it's necessary, is it?
Municipal code subdivision.
There's no two on rush on there.
Well, we will move on to item number 6 then. Item 5, excuse me. Consider ordinance 2460 vacating the public ways in block 11 and block 16 of the Holdrege South addition to the city of Holdrege, Phelps County, Nebraska.
So this is being done for Steve Walls, who owns all this property down there. There's still roads in the property that are platted there. In order to make it two contiguous, or basically one contiguous block with a utility easement in it, he needs to vacate these streets. And Steve, if you'd like to comment, you sure may.
That's me, I'm Steve.
You want to approach the table here, Steve? Thank you.
Just want to vacate the streets and the alleys that are remaining in that property.
I see, they've all been platted for years and years, and really, there
Since
has
the
been
80s.
very little development up through there.
Still hayfield.
Yes. You're looking to develop?
I was approached by a young couple that wanted to buy some of the land. They want to put a business out there, and they don't want they want to be able to put the buildings where the roads are. So if we can vacate them and put the buildings in there, then we go on from there. They're not buying the whole area, they're buying 10 acres.
A portion of it.
And rather than just do the small portion that they want, vacate those roads, just go ahead and vacate all of them, because no point in having them there really, that I can see.
After all these years, I don't know when these were platted, do you know, Kim? But we haven't had any development through there for,
Now, everything else in that area has been vacated to the north, so.
and needs cleaned up too.
Yeah.
Any questions or concerns about vacating?
Doesn't that require a traffic study?
What?
There are actually,
Vacate a road, you generally do a traffic study to vacate the
you
road.
could, but there are actually no roads there.
There's no roads
They're
there.
platted roads.
There's no traffic there.
Question from the council?
You're good with it, Ken?
Oh, yeah.
Motion to approve first, well, we gotta have the reading first, excuse me.
First reading, ordinance 2460, an ordinance to vacate South Sherman Street from South 7th Street to South 10th Street, South 8th Street from South Logan Street to South Sherman Street, and South 9th Street from South Logan Street to South Sherman Street in Holdrege, South addition to the city of Holdrege, Phelps County, Nebraska. To repeal all other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, to provide for the severability of all parts hereof, and to designate the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdrege, Nebraska.
Thanks, Dane. Motion to approve first reading.
So moved.
Mary McDermott,
I'll second it.
Dale Harrington,
Gibbons,
Yes.
Barrington,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
I presume, it's my understanding that this young couple would want to develop something. They would like to get started.
I was hoping we could expedite the readings.
My question for the council, can we suspend the rules in this case and have?
Are you under contract on a deadline for this?
A 1031 exchange that requires, find and locate another property that's been located and everything. There are dates that have been set.
We generally try not to suspend the rules, but this is probably all right.
I like Mary's idea.
Of generally trying not to, but
In this
But
case,
make
I
an
would agree with
exception
you,
in-
you should suspend the rules because the person he's selling to could create jobs.
Thank you, Mr. Lambert. Was that a motion, Mary?
yeah, I'll move to suspend. For Steve.
Mike Sisson seconds.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Barrington,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
Final reading, ordinance 2460. An ordinance to vacate South Sherman Street from South 7th Street to South 10th Street, South 8th Street from South Logan Street to South Sherman Street, and South 9th Street from South Logan Street to South Sherman Street in Holdrege, South addition to the city of Holdrege, Phelps County, Nebraska. To repeal all other ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith, to provide for the severability of all parts hereof, and to designate the time described when this ordinance shall be in effect. Be it ordained by the mayor and council of the city of Holdrege, Nebraska.
Thank you. Motion to approve the final reading.
So moved.
McDermott, Corey Weiss.
Gibbons,
Yes.
Barrington,
Yes.
Huber,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott.
Yes.
You go, Mr. Walls.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Item 6, approve an application to amend the outdoor area of Gutters Fun Center's liquor license. I think you all have a copy. Good evening, Mr. McNeil.
How are you guys?
Okay.
Want to include an area where we can, have an outdoor venue that would, provide the ability to do live music and things like that, and not to have to separate that spot from the other part of the outdoor area, so we can serve alcohol, or people can carry alcohol into that area.
The spot that you're looking at would be south of the sandlot.
Yeah, it's kind of right next to the building. It is, it's south of the sand. I've put a kind of a cornhole courtyard in there and put some sod up to it. And so yeah, it'd just be kind of a continuation of where that sod is out there into that, south of the existing fence line.
Some other activity for the people during Holdrege anyway.
Yep.
So you're gonna build a fence all the way around that?
Yeah, yeah, I've got the fence application. I'm gonna amend it to separate that part off. I'll be down to him in the morning to get that separate part, but I think what I'll do eventually is put an area for kids to play during sand volleyball. There'll be a fenced off area over there too. Like I say, that'll be the amendment that I'll do for my fence permit, so that there's a lot of young couples that wanna have something for their kids to do, so I'll keep those areas separated.
Looks good. Questions or concerns from the city council?
Make a motion, we approve the application.
Mike Sisson makes the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Trent Puker?
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Duker,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Weeds,
Yes.
Sisson.
Yes.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you, Darrell.
Thank you.
Enjoy, come on out and enjoy it. It'll be fun.
Not tonight. Awesome. Item 8, approve the appointment of Jeff Benjamin to the City of Holdrege Civil Service Commission, fulfilling the unexpired term of Jason Siddell.
7? 7, not 8, right?
7.
Make sure I didn't miss one.
Approve the appointment of Jeff Benjamin. He meets the requirements. I did have like 5 different people to consider on this. So went down the process of elimination, who's going to be the best candidate. Mr. Benjamin, several years ago, ran for the county board. He didn't make that appointment. He's been interested in city government, county government. He has a couple of businesses. He knows how to hire and take care of people, so he meets all the requirements that we're looking for a person on the Civil Service Commission. So, I'm guessing Jeff Benjamin probably voted for me in the last election. He owes me a few years now. So he said he would, looking forward to this appointment if he's approved.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Ben Johnson, who seconds? Mary McDermott, thank you.
Smith,
Yes.
Weeds,
Yes.
Sisson,
Yes.
McDermott,
Yes.
Gibbon,
Yes.
Harrington,
Yes.
Duker,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 8, consider the disposition of city property at 610 East Avenue in Holdrege. 3 years ago, this property come up for sale. The lady had an accident. She passed away, and so this house is set vacant. At that time, the library thought, the house is for sale, we could add on. We could do parking, we could do whatever. They could not buy the property at that time. We would buy the property, and we did, for $135,000. But then, we got the money from the library out of their fund to pay us for that. I was at the county board, or library meeting a couple weeks ago. The library is not interested in that house. They're not big enough footprint between their current lot and that lot. They're all in favor of selling that house. Whoever, that's in our ballpark to sell it. The money that we would recoup would go back to the library, because they paid us. And, we paid some pretty good money for it, because location. That was good location for the library. right now, they're not interested in it. The family did want that garage, they moved that garage, their grandfather built that garage, and so there is no garage in that property. So we would, I've asked Natalie. My first question, is the council in agreement that we sell that property?
What's the condition of the project? It's sat vacant for 2 years? Was it
3 years. It's that.
winterized before it sat vacant and ran through?
We have not disconnected any utilities on it, so it's still, we still pay utility bill on it, so it's got running water, it's got heat. We went in and we cleaned it all out, cleaned out the stuff that was left in it. And so it's completely cleaned out and it's,
Livable,
pardon me?
livable?
Yeah, correct.
I'm a firm believer that the city should not be involved in any real estate deals, but this is kind of the exception, so. And the way the market is right now, I don't think we have anything to lose by getting it on the market and seeing what we can get out of it.
But, yeah, the highest and best use would be for it to be a home for a family,
We need housing
especially with how
anyway,
tight
so-
everything is right now. Is there any reason not to just go ahead and sell it for market value?
I think by statute, we're required to publish notice. I'm gonna have to research it, cause I don't know exactly what the requirements are, but I believe we have to allow a period of maybe 30 days, essentially a comment period, people to protest the city selling it. And then as long as that goes through, we would be able to sell it by like closed bids or a public auction. I don't think by statute we can just list it with a realtor, so
Okay.
we'll have to publish notice and then probably take sealed bids unless somebody has strong feelings otherwise.
I'm all forward with moving forward with it and, you know, seeing what the public has to say, and if there's no problem, then just go ahead and get it on the market.
Has there been any interest that you know of, have been people talking about it?
There's been a couple of people over the years who's interested, picking it up and moving it out of town. And there's people who's expressed interest in buying it as is. We have a lot of need for housing in Holdrege. We're gonna get a lot more if we sell it as it sits. It would be a nice home for anybody here in town. It needs updated. I was in it several times, used to remove the snow for Marla's, a lady that lived there, and it needs updated, but anybody who buys it is gonna be looking at, they know that.
Yeah.
Kim, I think, has the key for it.
Yep.
So we'll let Natalie pursue.
Yeah.
Yep.
As long as the council's ready to go forward with it, we'll let
Yep, get it.
Natalie come back at a later time.
It's not doing any good just sitting there.
No.
They're
That's
not
all I'm
interested
gonna
in
say
it
there.
anymore.
We'll plan to probably bring that back to the next meeting then.
Okay. That's all I was interested in. We'll hear more of that later. And like you say, the library doesn't need it there. Okay, open discussion. There is a form there on the table I laid tonight. Anybody interested in an appointment for any boards, authorities, commissions, fill it out. Dane has more. I have. We'll make more. The new mayor that's coming in December, he'd like to see my list of volunteers, and I'd sure like to have a list for it when that time comes. And we've had plenty of great success in the last 7.5 years of finding good people.
Mayor, how many appointments need to be made for those that maybe are ending up in 22, ending their terms in 22? Do you have an idea how many appointments need to be made?
Oh, what I've had very good luck in the past, Lola, is their appointment. We have quite a few appointments coming up in 22, 23, 20, yeah, and they're spread out. But typically, I've had very good luck with people staying on the boards and authorities.
Past their expiration date, you were saying?
Some of them are 3 years, some 4 years, some 6 years. I've got all that information, Dana has that information down.
But can they be reappointed after their
Oh,
expiration?
yes, we have no term limits,
Okay.
and I've had good luck reappointing them. We've got a lot of people, after they say, you know, I don't know, after they get in it, they can do it. It's not rocket science. We have great boards, authorities, commissions. They do a good job. They're very valuable service to our community, so if anybody is interested. Dane?
I am signing everybody up with Town Cloud for your own account, so that when we distribute packets, information at the end of the packet, that the department reports and things can be viewed by everybody that will have to log in. So I'm getting that done as we speak. And that's all I have.
Chief McIntyre.
All right, well, Kobe Quintana just finished off his LB51 training, so tonight he's starting his field training with Officer Erickson. We just hired, I gave a conditional offer to Tori Furnish yesterday, so she'll be starting with us July 11th. And then Friday I'll be doing testing. I've received 3 applications to test for that. We just started using iCrime software for sharing digital media with the county attorney's office and the sheriff's department. So it's kind of like Dropbox or what Dane just spoke of, but it's for law enforcement. So I just listed the sergeant's position. So, and I'll be issuing a new body cam soon. Other than that, we're good.
Sounds good. You had a busy day Saturday too. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Dale?
No, not really. I just thank Kim and his crew for the work they did on Swedish Day, setting things up. They did a great job, like usual. And any other city employees that were involved in that. Appreciate their work.
Did a lot of work on Friday night, Saturday. Trent?
Ditto. Same thing. Kudos to the crew.
Thank you. Ben?
I have nothing since they stole what I was gonna say.
We'll start with you next time.
Okay.
Nothing. Thanks, Kim, for having the guys come out and clean the parking lot. It was much appreciated, so for that benefit.
Corey?
Thank
Mike?
Not tonight.
Mary?
No, thank you.
Mr. Gibbons?
Nothing.
Natalie?
Nothing from me?
Kim?
Nothing, sir.
Mary? Speaking of the city, I thought I heard something foreign, an alien ship running around. It was our street sweeper.
So
They,
no
they,
kidding.
they cleaned a lot of streets, getting ready
They
for
went by our
Swedish
place
Day.
twice, and that's the first time I saw that in a long time.
So, yeah, that was one of the things that the city did, but, there again, I don't know how many man hours we don't keep track of everything that they did for the Silver Fun Run, the parade, putting up the fencing and everything, but, it went off well, and we had, Swedish days went well. Do you have any comment, Lori, on this?
No, I got it, Caroline. I'm sorry, do you mind if I say a few words?
We'll make an exception this time.
Yeah, I think it was a really fun event, and we had a lot of wind, but people hunkered down. I saw a lot of vendors holding on to their tent, but still selling things. Appreciate you being involved in the parade as a judge, but we added that new kickoff, the prayer and proclamation, and just,
That was a nice addition.
that was a really great evening, and have heard lots of positive comments from people. And we couldn't do it without you. The city crew is amazing. They got up very early to put things out, and they stayed up late to move things, and they moved and moved and moved, and they're so pleasant. You stop and talk to them, and they're really accommodating, and so I think it speaks very highly of the city. We had a couple of, we're trying to work on bringing young adults into town to experience Holdrege, not just the ones who grew up here, but getting some people to, in that 18 to 34-year-old range, to come and see what it's like. And we had hired a photography student from UNL, and she grew up in the Omaha area, and she just kept walking around. You probably saw her, she had a really big lens. That's the university's lens, by the way. But she was like, this is such a nice town. This is such a nice town. I had no idea. This is such a nice town. I really like it here. And she did the shots that we asked her to, and then she'd walk around and she was taking pictures of the statues. And we're really excited that she's here. And we have another intern who's staying this summer, and they are just taking pictures of the great things that are happening, the buildings, the people, the statues, the parks, and everything that we have to offer. So we're excited to be a champion of Holdrege and start to get visual out there on, I try to put my phone down at night, but other people are on it, so we want them to see Holdrege pictures. But it was great. It's always nice to bring the community together despite the heat and the winds. So
It takes a lot of people
yeah,
to make
and
this community what it is.
really appreciated the police coming out, leading the parade, but also talking with people and promoting what you guys have to offer. We had some lots of EMTs, and the fire department came, and I just appreciated everybody taking their time to interact with people, even when wasn't necessarily something that they were asked to do, but we really appreciated it.
Well, we appreciate the booth, that was very thoughtful,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Yeah, so anyway, thank you for everybody for participating.
Lori had trouble getting judges, so she was checking the resumes. She went back to my high school grades. The theme of this year's parade was below the sea. All my grades were below sea level.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
that's how I made it.
That's a pretty good joke. Anyway, thank you so much.
Thanks, Larry.
Yeah.
4th of July is coming up shortly, so another week we can start selling fireworks.
Yeah, we put the ordinance out in the social media world, so people will know.
If not, this meeting is adjourned.